I don't know if I'll love you forever, but if I did, it couldn't happen to a nicer sort of girl. And I'm trying to tell you how it feels, but only spouting gibberish in circles. She said, now don't go and make me promises, 'cause if you do, they'll only make of you a liar in the end. Sometimes we laugh at the things that we said when we couldn't tell something from nothing. I know a girl from Pennsylvania in the River Hills. It's not always easy, but she knows how I can be and treats me kind. I ran and raved with her all night, but she don't seem to mind. She seems to think that I'm a funny way to waste most of her time. But I don't know what the times to come may bring, and if I did, I'd join a carnival and ride a carny train, raising the dead and reading the people's hands, trying to not let the hoax out. Or I could stay, we could build a little crap shack in the hills with a garden and a shotgun and a dog, and never go to the town ever again, vanish like a hole in the wall gang. I know a girl from Pennsylvania in the River Hills. It's not always easy, but she knows how I can be and treats me kind. I ran and raved with her all night, but she don't seem to mind. She seems to think that I'm a funny way to waste most of her time. Girl from Pennsylvania in the River Hills. It's not always easy, but she knows how I can be and treats me kind. I ran and raved with her all night, but she don't seem to mind. She seems to think that I'm a funny way to waste most of her time. Seems to think that I'm a funny way waste most of her time. Evening, folks. Good to see you all. Hello, hello. New Holland, New Orleans, West Virginia. All right. We got a nice cross section of America listening already. Nice to be back on the airwaves. Are these airwaves? Photons? How's it count when it's the internet? I'm showing my age using radio jargon. Anyway, that's an old song called Girl from the River Hills from the very first Vinegar Creek Constituency album, which was called Vinegar Creek Constituency and is now out of print. That one goes back to 2008. And it's got its own kind of fan club. A lot of times people tell me that that's their favorite album, and it fills me with despair. when they say that. Because it's such an early record, you know. I felt like as a band we were kind of babies then. But you like what you like, as long as you like it. I'm having a strange day. I'm a little sleep deprived. Oh, E-Town in the house. All right. Tonight I would have been performing in the lobby at the Lancaster Marriott, which would have probably been about as crowded as this gig is in my office here. It's an interesting gig, playing ambient music kind of in the lobby there for the folks passing through. I enjoy it very much, but it's pretty socially distant to begin with. But like all other gigs, it's been canceled. Here's a song about the giddy joys of a life of crime. Turn me out of county with no jingle jangle coin. Found you slinging hotcakes in a truck stop in Des Moines. Beautiful as you are, swinging that cast iron pan. We could talk this over, baby. I could be your man. That's my Studebaker in that lot down by the mall. Let your magic carpet take you any place at all. There's a filling station, won't spot us just a 5 or more. You know life ain't nothing but a burning building. We're on the 32nd floor, so let's go dancing in our burning building, love. You're a dream I long to wander. Your eyes are stars up yonder. Yours forever, ever true, at least until the morning dew. So let's go dancing in our burning building, love. You're the Macy's parade, my heart beats rat-tat-tat-tat for that tattoo I woke up with in Calcutta in the war. May say I love another, but I swear that name is just my mother. Let's just stop a minute, baby, down by the Union Bank there maybe, and go dancing in our burning building, love. You're a dream I long to wander. Your eyes are stars up yonder. Just you hold this bag here, honey. The clerk owes my shotgun money. Let's go dancing in our burning building, love. We'll always have Saturdays at Ruby's, baby, Sundays at the shore. Staying home and making love on tables, chairs, and floors. Captive of your charms, dear, don't look so alarmed, dear. I'm kind of familiar with that kind of pounding at the door. So let's dance to the rhythm of the cop shoes on the stair. So with good behavior, I'll be out in 20 years. Hope you get my letters, they're mainly yours almost forever. I can't make bail, I'm kinda strapped at the moment. How's your daddy's drugstore going? Let's go dancing in our burning building, love. You're a dream I long to wander. Your eyes are stars up yonder. The old wayward boy forever, till the warden pulls that lever. Let's go dancing in our burning building. Let's go dancing in our burning building. Let's go dancing in our burning building, love. All right, that's called Our Burning Building from the 2018 Vinegar Creek album Americana Sorta, which is also a genre of music with only one band in it. Guess who? Cornhuskers Ball, since we're doing oldies. That sounds like a good idea, Julie. I can get behind that. Liddit's in the house. We miss you guys too. Talking to people was cool. I went out to the grocery store today, so I got to talk to a clerk, checkout guy. We were both wearing masks, so we had a little bit of a conversation here. I have a little trick that I did. I found down in my garage where all my tools are, I had an old N95 respirator, the one with the little vent there, a 3M N95 respirator, and those are supposed to be the good ones. So it was too dirty to donate, so I just took it and I went through my arts and crafts and costumes drawer, and I found an old handlebar mustache disguise. So I glued the handlebar mustache onto the N95 respirator right about here, and that's what I wear out to the grocery store. I like it because people that are around me, whether they're wearing masks or not, rather than kind of feeling uneasy about the fact that we're all dressed like hospital staff, they get a chuckle out of it, and it maybe eases tensions a little bit, I like to think. All right, this is from the second Vinegar Creek album. It's a song, inspired by the fact that I was born and raised in Lancaster County, and as I like to say, when you're born and raised in Lancaster County, sooner or later you're going to wind up finding some cross-pollination with the local. There's so much corn pollen in the air here, it gets all over everything. It gets in your clothes. It gets in between the pages of your books. It gets in the gas tanks of your car. And every now and again, it gets deep down in the crevices of one of your songs, and you wake up and find corn growing right up through the middle of one. And that happened with this song here, the Cornhuskers Ball. We were born in a little town with good farmland interspersed, and the river that ran beside was the end of the universe, and no one ever traveled anywhere but up the hill in a hearse. Still there were good times for all at the Cornhuskers Ball every harvest. I grew next to your parents' house, and you lighted my lonely world. But we loved too impatiently and broke down like a tilt-a-whirl. And I spent some nights foolishly asleep in the mangled machinery, finally hitting the wall, and the Cornhuskers Ball couldn't cheer me. I'll go travel the Orient, I'll poison a foreign czar, I'll become a fat millionaire with a fat millionaire cigar. I'll open a sideshow for the freakish find hopeless and too bizarre. Move it into a stall at the Cornhuskers Ball, raving at the stars. Saw your sister last Saturday, and she told me that you had gone. Dragged your uncle's old Model A up the road to Saskatchewan. So does that mean you're gone away for good? Well, wouldn't matter much, so am I. But I would meet you next fall at the Cornhuskers Ball, just to tell you goodbye. I would meet you next fall at the Cornhuskers Ball, just to tell you goodbye. I miss Jeff's mandolin too, Julie. I was just thinking that when that part came around in that song. How nice it would be to have a mandolin break in there. Where it goes. Yep, there is that. And yep. All right. All right. Hey, Mitzi. Well, there's my tip jar down there at the bottom. I had it turned off for a while because I made a video last night. By the way, if you're a Patreon subscriber, there's a new video for you out on Patreon. A little bedtime story and lullaby I wrote way back during some of my early travels in the Southwest, but I've never gotten around to making anything out of. So that's available for patrons on Patreon on the site. You may notice that I have a different link down here for PayPal. Maybe you didn't notice that. It used to be my email address, which is the same email address I've had, the same webmail I've had since I was in college, like 20 years ago. dastardlydervish@yahoo.com. But a listener contacted me over the weekend and brought it to my attention that a scammer had made an email address that was one letter off from that, dastardlydervish with an E, and made a PayPal out of it. So this listener had actually sent money to the scammer. It's a slick trick. You got to watch out for that with PayPal. Apparently people are doing that. They're making fake addresses that's just one letter off or something, one extra R or something. So anyway, this one is my name, paypal.me/Leonardo DiSanto. That's the link. So there should be no mistakes there because there's only one way to spell Leonardo DiSanto correctly, and that's it. So eat it, scammers. Feel like playing you some Willie Nelson here. Crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted. someday. Leave me for somebody new. Worried, why should I let myself worry? Wondering, what in the world will I do? Crazy for thinking that my love would hold you. I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Should I let myself worry? Wondering, what in the world will I do? Crazy for thinking that my love would hold you. I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. A little bit of Willie Nelson by way of Patsy Cline there. That was the Delia Dog's butt that you caught there at the in the Ringo cam. It was generous of her to get up from her bed to come visit us. She doesn't like to get off of that bed very often. Fall down, lean on the window pane, then rise up and twist in the weather vane. Rise up and fall down again. Fall down, walk these city streets again, then rise up to washed out skies welcome in. Rise up and fall down again. Rise up and fall down again. rise up, for heaven is waiting. Then fall back with the weight of your suffering. Rise up and fall back again. Fall down and send rivers on their way. Then rise up and come back some other day. Go and come back again. Go and come back again. Rise up, for we all must try to rise. Then fall down like teardrops from weeping eyes. Fall down like teardrops again. And I won't abuse you with flattery, and I won't complain when you fall on me. Rise and fall on me again. Rise and fall on me again. Rise up and fall down again. Rise up and fall down again. There's a Waltz for the Rain from my 2011 Moon of Silver Dime album, The Moon of Silver Dime, which is still available for download in all the usual places, especially at vinegarcreekconstituency.com. I'm going to see if I can't figure out a way to ramp up my store action. Maybe get some stickers or some shirts or something would be helpful, I'm thinking, during this time. I was talking to another musician last night who does a lot of home merch sales stuff, and I got to thinking I should get back into that racket. Maybe get some DiSanto Manor Live stickers, something like that. I don't know. I'll let you know if I actually get something like that rolling. Before I forget, I'd like to mention this. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel up to 1,000 subscribers. The way that YouTube works is you can monetize your videos, which means I could make some money for doing this show and all the other videos I make. But before they'll even consider that, you have to have a certain number of watch hours, and it's a lot, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers. I'm at about 215 as of this morning, but 1,700 people follow me on Facebook, so if even like 2/3 of them were to subscribe, which costs nothing, I'd be there. So if you guys are on your computers or your phones or whatever, and you'd be so kind, there's the address. User Dastardly Dervish. Just hit that subscribe button. It'll notify you whenever I make a new video, which I'm doing a lot of these days. Videos is kind of my thing now because I don't have any shows anymore until Lord knows when. So keep on top of the video action with a YouTube subscription. It's free, and it helps me out, and I really appreciate seeing those numbers go up a little bit more. I'll leave that there for just another minute in case you need to write it down or copy and paste it or something, whatever you're doing. Brand new video up last night. Didn't put it on Facebook. It's just on Patreon, and if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can see it too. All right, help a brother out. kicked around by gravity. I always put up such a fight, but I never get it right. And you're bound to wind up on the floor with me. Outside those February raindrops are falling. Night crawlers twisting in the street. They come up when rain comes down, just to drink until it drowns. Sometimes nighttime does that same old thing to me. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming. Forces of nature make such a fool to be. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. When I was a kid just out of high school, my mama said, don't you go fall in love, love, love. When you gaze into her eyes, oh, it might not look so high. Wait till you take that dive from up above. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming. Forces of nature make such a fool of me. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. Back where I was supposed to be, there was an angel hanging around, saying, buddy, just stay down. Oh, you ain't built for verticality. Now my heart keeps knocking like a Bible salesman. My head keeps spinning like a fishing reel, reel, reel. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, gal, but I say it's paved with banana peel. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming. Forces of nature make such a fool of me. Oh, oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. Can't stay on my feet. A song about romantic clumsiness. I swear it's not about me. That's from Amerikinda Sorta. All right. Yeah. Thanks for the subscribe there, Jason. Appreciate that. Helps a lot. I'm hoping to... I've mentioned this before, probably a bunch of times, because I say everything so damn many times. I know this about myself. I think it's a flaw that a lot of storytellers share, especially ones that have done a lot of drinking in their lifetimes, let's be honest. But I know I say the same thing a lot of times, but I want to keep this show rolling past the pandemic, beyond the quarantine. I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time, to pull the trigger on that, and I'd love to keep doing this as a live show. I have some of my amazing friends, artists, musicians, jugglers, acrobats, politicians, all kinds of people I know in here to talk with me and play music and work with me. And if I can get the YouTube subscribership going, it might actually be able to make it fly, make it pay. Constantly trying to scrape together the nickels in this business, you know. So thanks, guys, for humoring me on that one. don't know. How about a Bob Dylan tune? I got an acoustic guitar. I got a harmonica. I got a grumpy attitude. I'm suited to do a Bob Dylan tune. Hey, Mike. Cheers, brother. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Well, I know that evening's empire has returned into sand, vanished from my hand, left me blindly here to stand, but still not sleeping. My weariness amazes me, I'm branded on my feet. I have no one to meet, and my ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Oh, take me on a trip aboard your magic swirling ship. My senses have been stripped, my hands can't feel to grip, my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere, I'm ready for to fade into my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way, I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Though you might hear laughing, spinning, swinging madly across the sun, it's not aimed at anyone, it's just escaping on the run. And but for the sky, there are no fences facing. If you should hear vague traces of skipping wheels of rhyme, to your tambourine in time is just a ragged clown behind. I wouldn't pay him any mind, it's just a shadow you're seeing that he's chasing. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Oh, take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the foggy ruins of time, far past the frozen leaves, the haunted frightened trees, out to the windy beach, far from the twisted reach of crazy sorrow. Yes, to dance beneath the diamond sky with one hand waving free, silhouetted by the sea, circled by the circus sand, with all memory and fate driven deep beneath the waves. Let me forget about today until tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. One of the finest songs ever been written, in my opinion. I fell in love with the album Bringing It All Back Home back when I was a teenager. Just thought it was the best thing that had ever been made. And Dylan made, I think within a 1-year period, it was Bringing It All Back Home, Highway 61 Revisited, and Blonde on Blonde within the same 1 or 2 years, which is just crazy because those are 3 of the masterpiece albums. In the streets there are no cars, there is no light. In the forest owls are waking up the night. In the houses, in the bedrooms out of sight, people are dreaming. Do they sleep because there's nothing else to do? Do they dream because in dreams they're born anew? To discover when they wake they'll have become one of the good ones. I don't expect a lot, but I ask too much. And I lean upon my anger like a crutch. Even though I realize it's such a sad way to go. Outside the rain falls and the churches ring their bells, believing most of us will die and go to hell. If God's good, you know I'm sure that he can tell. One of the good ones. Contraptions of skin over bone were not made to be good. Exploding or sinking like stones. Darling, if I could, I would call back the reckless words I let fly. I see written on the teardrops in your eyes. I Hope that you can see how hard I try. I will try again. Maybe it's good enough to know it can be free from the rusted chains of time and misery. I'll do everything that I can do to be one of the good ones. Contraptions of skin over bone were not made to be good, exploding or sinking like stones. But darling, if I could, I would keep you with me here tonight under the stars. But instead you'll catch a plane, you'll call a car. I'll always tell everyone I know that you are one of the good ones. Stay down there a minute. Drop D is the place to be. If you didn't recognize that last tune, that's called One of the Good Ones from my solo album, The Moon is Silver Dime, which came out back in 2011. I'm definitely overdue for a solo album, and I'm hoping to get up the gumption to make one during this quarantine. It'll probably just be me with an acoustic guitar like this. I don't know. I've got a bunch of instruments in here I could overdub on there. I've got the stuff. Just, it's a scary prospect. I make recordings all the time, but the idea of like releasing a proper album on your own is still kind of scary to me, but it's something I want to do, so I imagine I will. And if I'm going to do it, this seems like a time to do it. Speaking of this seems like a time, if you want to buy that album, it's available at vinegarcreekconstituency.com. And this is a great time to buy albums because musicians don't have any gigs, including me. I was up to about 200 gigs a year, which is pretty full time when you count the days in a year. I was running around a whole lot, doing 2-3 gigs a day a lot of the time. And they're all gone. Poof. No gigs. Gigs went the way of the pterodactyl, folks. The way of the dodo bird, the way of the passenger pigeon, if you catch my drift. And so, if you are getting some value out of these concerts I'm doing, this regular show I've been up to since the quarantine started, I will lovingly accept your tips, donations, whatever you want to call them. Tickets, whatever. I'm not selling tickets, but there's addresses at the bottom of the screen where you can support this show. Because this is what I do now. It's all I do now. Well, I make videos too, but it's always sitting here in front of this camera and this microphone. So that's one thing you can do. Another is Patreon. There it is. The coolest club that you never thought you wanted to be a member of or even knew existed, but it's cool. And this is where you get all the stuff. If you're a Patreon patron, which you can be for as little as $1 a thing, $1 a month. There's any level you want to contribute at. It's a subscription thing. You get everything I make. Everything I make is available to my patrons. Patrons get first crack at requests on these shows. They get, basically, if a patron asks me to send them a free download of an album because they lost the album, they get it. It's just like a little perk thing, and you get to call yourself a patron of the arts, and you get content that nobody else gets to see, like the brand new video that I uploaded there just this morning. So if you think that might be something you want to do to support me, I sure would appreciate you checking it out. If it doesn't sound like it's for you, poof, it's gone. Just like the gigs. My Patreon numbers have increased quite a lot since this started, by the way, so thank you guys to those of you who have joined or have upped your contributions. I really appreciate it. That's like my one reliable source of income that I know I can count on. Although the listeners to this show have been quite generous too, and I appreciate everybody. Showing me that you find value in what I do. That means a lot, even way beyond the money. So, cheers. Cheers with passion fruit seltzer, the official seltzer flavor of hot-blooded, half-Italian men who live in Pennsylvania. Passion fruit. I'm not hot-blooded right now, I promise. My temperature is absolutely normal. This microphone I'm breathing all over doesn't have a thing to worry about on my end here. While I'm down here in drop D, why not do this old chestnut? Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the light. We know where the music's playing, let's go out and meet the night. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. When we were lovers, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is riding high. it's shining in your eye. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon, because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon, a little bit of Neil Young there for you. Lauren, this would be La Croix brand passion fruit soda. La Croix. The only one that sells passion fruit that I've heard of, and a passionate sumbitch like me needs a passion fruit soda. A passionate sumbitch like me who doesn't drink beer anymore needs a passion fruit soda. However, once I become a big famous YouTube star for this show, I'll whore myself out to any seltzer company that wants to sponsor me. Whoever sends me cases of the stuff, I'll be like, yeah, Wise quality, that's the stuff. Or Polar Seltzer, send it along, man. Send it along. I'll play them against each other. I'll play the big seltzer like a guitar of some kind, you know? But yeah, it's a La Croix. But that's my evil plan. Hope you like it. If you don't, too bad, because it's an evil plan. Hi, Laveau Merlot. Welcome. Thanks for coming in, and thank you for the kind words. Luke, Strange Bird, sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that. I think I'll do this guitar for that one. This guitar is real nice for the finger picky stuff. Shout out to Oracle Guitars of Harrisburg. Both of these beautiful handcrafted guitars I'm playing were made by Todd Johnston, master luthier of Oracle Guitars out of Harrisburg. He's got an amazing selection of instruments. He makes just does beautiful work. Obviously, you're looking at it, you're hearing it. This guitar is made of all English walnut. I'm told it's from a walnut tree that grew not too far from Allentown, PA, which is just a couple of hours from where I am. Picky about that note. You're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? Yes, you're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? If the solemn birds of autumn leave me lonesome, would you fly this way again? Well, I loved you in the summer, and I lost you in the fall. Across the mountainside in winter, like a shadow across the wall. When the starlight through the snow down was so blinding, I could barely see it all. What's the news from California, pretty bird? I hear it's fine this time of year. They're picking fruit and combing beaches. Well, at least that's what I hear. It's so cold in Pennsylvania, will I see you when the weather's free and clear? Alcatraz comes from an old Spanish word. For strange birds, it's true. Yes, Alcatraz comes from an old Spanish word. For strange birds, it's true. Maybe someday on some broken shore, someone will name a prison after you. You're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? Yes, you're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? If the solemn birds of autumn leave me lonesome, would you fly this way again? The love song called Strange Bird from the fourth album by my band Vinegar Creek Constituency, which is called Amerikinda Sorta. You can't miss it. It's the one with the circus people on the front. My friend Michelle Johnson, a brilliant photographer from Lancaster, did the cover art for that one. And when we were coming up with the concept for it, she said, there's this old abandoned roller coaster we could shoot at. And I said, cool. Can you get me some circus freaks? And she said, well, yeah. Well, actually, they're not really freaks. They're just circus people. And I said, I'm kind of hoping for like a flipper boy here or something like that, like a seal boy, something. She said, no, they're actually all fairly attractive. And I said, all right, well, beggars, choosers, whatever. And it actually ended up working out quite wonderfully. The cover is awesome, and I've worked with the circus school folks a few times since then. The Circus School of Lancaster, cool organization you should check out. They've been doing some videos during the quarantine. They did a live stream last weekend. I'm going Virginia. Sure thing. I'll do that for you. First, I'm going to really have to move my table. Why is my drink all the way back there? Probably so I don't spill it on the soundboard, because I certainly would. But all this talk about seltzers got me thinking on this song that I wrote a couple of months ago about my newfound proclivity for non-alcoholic beer. See, if you don't know this about me, and there's a fair chance you do, my thirst for alcoholic beverages was way, way too powerful for a whole lot of years. kind of got away from me from about the ages of 20 to 40 or so. And so it came to be that at Christmas time of 2018, I decided to take a year off of drinking. And that was almost a year and a half ago, and I haven't had a drink since. No plans as far as that goes, but it's working for me. So what I do instead, when I'm at a gig, which I used to do gigs, it used to be a thing. When I'm at home, live streaming, cooking dinner for my dogs, whatever I'm doing, I'll get myself a good non-alcoholic beer, and they're making some pretty nice ones these days. And one day I was kind of meditating, pondering on the differences between being a guy who drinks non-alcoholic beer and being a guy who drinks a lot of regular beer. And I got this song out of it, a song called Non-Alcoholic Beer. This one comes with a mild parental advisory. Like if you get upset by curse words, you might get mildly upset about this one. I'm going to go ahead and take that chance, but don't say I didn't warn you. Most of my friends with kids say their kids curse more than they do, so. Well, I put down the bottle, been just about a year. Lately I've been drinking on some of that non-alcoholic beer. Now whenever some goon at some local saloon come round and make a thing and ask me what I'm drinking, I lift my glass and sing, here's mud in your eye, buddy mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we'll sure dry out in hell. Well, it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. What it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't get jailed and your liver won't fail, 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. You play rock star boy, making all that noise just to hit yourself to sleep on a greasy spot in the parking lot, praying the devil your soul to keep. Well, you're halfway to hell and you're starting to smell police screaming in your ear, and the whole world sucks and you wish you'd have stuck to some non-alcoholic beer. Here's mud in your eye, buddy mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we'll sure dry out in hell. Well, it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. What it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't wake up and find everything's fucked 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Oh, it sure ain't gonna make me handsome, and it sure ain't gonna make you pretty, and I probably won't go home with you, and I won't get to touch you. I mean, I swear I don't get around the way I used to do. I fear my hands don't shake and my teeth don't break 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Here's mud in your eye, buddy of mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we'll sure dry out in hell. But it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. What it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't get jailed and your liver won't fail 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. No, you won't wake up to find everything's fucked 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Kinda tastes like shit, but you warm up to it, that talking about that non-alcoholic beer. True story. Yeah, little yodeling never killed anybody. Not even Hank. I think it was the booze that killed Hank. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Laveau Merlot. My albums can be found, in case you didn't hear it earlier. Most of my material was recorded under the name Vinegar Creek Constituency. That's the name of my band. My name's Leo DiSanto. I have one album out right now under that name and 5 under Vinegar Creek Constituency. Spotify, Apple Music, or even better, buy them directly from us at vinegarcreekconstituency.com. Because I don't think I mentioned this part earlier. All of my albums on sale via my own websites are pay what you will. So if you're suffering a little bit because of the reset or the whatever we're having now, the pandemic, or if you're just like, I kind of like this guy, but I only like him about $3 big, you can pay $3 if you want to, if that's what the download's worth to you. If you're like, I love this guy and I hope one day he's going to bear me many children, don't hold your breath. You can pay $100 for the album if you want to. It's up to you. I believe in letting people, pay what they're able to and what they're inclined to. So vinegarcreekconstituency.com for all of my albums, including the brand new Halloween tapes, which just came out a couple months back. Just a duo record, me on guitar and vocals, and my left-handed right-hand man, Jeff Bryson, on mandolin and vocals. All right. This one's for Lauren, and this is an old Vinegar Creek constituency song from the first album, the self-titled album. It was a hell of a time back then. We were just starting to travel a little bit as a band, and we recorded this album in a basement in Marietta, Pennsylvania, right next to the train tracks. And we actually got this beautiful recording it's my favorite track on the album, a beautiful recording of the train going by. We set up mics so you can hear it coming and going. There's crickets, then the train comes in. You hear it rushing, you hear it get loud, then it gets quiet, goes off in the distance, the Doppler effect happens, and then crickets again. It's a cool track. But anyway, this is a murder ballad from that album. This one came from a walk I was taking in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia, in Shenandoah National Park, a favorite place of mine. I haven't been there in years. I'm overdue. It's going to be one of my first stops when the pandemic is over. I was hiking down the trail deep in the backcountry, came upon a little graveyard full of crumbled, weathered, stained old tombstones from the 1800s. And in the middle, somebody had set a plaque, a modern structure. And on the plaque was inscribed a poem. And the gist of the poem was, make sure to fully enjoy these and appreciate these parklands that you're currently availing yourself of, because the people who settled in the mountains originally were forced to leave their homes, many of them, when the government took that land for a national park. So now it's this preserved public land that's been around for hundreds of years, and it benefits us all. And thankfully, we still have most of our public lands intact. Something worth fighting for right there. But there's another side to that coin, the people that lost their homes, the place that they were tied to, the place that was theirs. And I got to thinking about that, walking back down the trail, and started making up this song along the way. Came awake with a buzzing head in the middle of the night. There's a north wind trying to blow the mountain down. It seems it might. Used to be I'd sleep in peace in my own bed. These days there ain't no peace for nobody but the dead. I came home from the government's war 3 winters now ago. Couldn't see the mountainside for the driving rain and the blinding snow. But you can't blame a soul for feeling low when the sun don't shine. These days the weather round here brings trouble on my mind. Running my days out in these sad blue mountains, tired as they are, so am I. I'd be lost in the city. I'm gone, Virginia, goodbye. La da da, la da da da. came and brought the big black railroad trains to town, screaming down the grade below for miles around. You could hear that sound. Bank men came on the railroad trains with their loveless eyes. Their pens and their papers said, boys, sign on the dotted line. Man come down from Washington town to drive me from the land. Pointed to some papers in his fat red waiting banded hand. So I laid him down in the wet cold ground where you never come back. These days there ain't no peace with the hounds running down my track. Running my days out in these sad blue mountains, tired as they are, so am I. I got caught in the machinery. I'm gone, Virginia, goodbye. Flow and the bluebells grow and the moon comes over the hill. I can't see them anymore and I never will. No, I never ever will. The girls in town wear flowing gowns and they look so fine, but I'm for the gallows boys and they ain't no friends of mine. Running my days out in these sad blue mountains, tired as they are, so am I. I'd be lost in the city. I'm gone, Virginia, goodbye. La-da-da, la-da-da-da. I miss those Dipco shows too, guys. Back in the old days, like 2008-9, back when they had to close the doors because it got so full the fire marshal was getting mad. Those were good times. Crazy ass times. I'd scream myself hoarse every night. And not the easiest place to sing, but a fun place to sing. I'm gonna do some a little bit of newer stuff for y'all. By the way, I'm keeping the same schedule this week that I've been doing. It's been working for me. I hope it's working for you guys too. So we have the Wednesday 7:30 show. We have Friday night at 8 o'clock p.m. I'll be doing a show. And then Sunday, I'll be continuing with the 1 p.m. Beatles brunch, all Beatles songs. And if you're a Patreon patron, you can put in your Beatles requests that way through the Patreon page, or send them to me some other way. I will make all patron requests happen. Do some Beatles songs and raise some money to feed some people. I'm very proud because in the last 2 weeks, you guys, you and me, have raised about $800 to feed hungry people in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I think that's wonderful. It makes me feel good when I think about those people eating those meals that we made happen just by enjoying some music together. And I want to keep that going. So I'm going to do the same thing again this Sunday. It'll be another benefit. I haven't decided for sure on the organization yet, but it's going to be a local food bank of some kind that'll get 100% of the tips and donations on Sunday. So tune in at 1 p.m. If you go to the Leo DiSanto Facebook page, there's an event that has all of the live stream links in it. and they're all there on the page too. Some folks have been telling me that they were having trouble finding it, so I'm trying to be real obvious about it, so that nobody will have to wonder where the videos are and when. So Friday night 8 p.m., Sunday 1 p.m. Beatles brunch. We'll feed some people. Uh-oh, I'm picking up something on the Ringo cam over here. There he is. Here he comes. There he is. Hey, buddy. Where you going? You're not on any of the cams there, bud. He's down there. He's shoving his butt up against me. That's a thing he really seems to dig for some reason. He was real aggressive during the last Beatles brunch. He just wouldn't stay out of my lap. Come on, Ringo. You practiced all day for this, man. There he is. A little groggy. All right. What you doing? You coming in? This is from the Halloween tapes. Me and Jeff Bryson's new duo album, Vinegar Creek Constituency Duo Sessions, it's called. The Halloween tapes. Recorded at Right Coast Recording, a great studio, right here in Columbia, in the Rivertown, Columbia, just down the road here, during a powerful thunderstorm that turned all the streets outside the studio to rivers. We went out, we were ankle deep in water. I like to think that some of that juju translated over to the album itself. And in fact, I'm very proud of this record. It's just a 5-song EP, and the recording quality is world class, just like everything that Right Coast does. And if I say so myself, if I may be so bold, I think that the music is right up there on par too. This is one of the tunes. Macedonia greets the clouds of Sunday morning. Bells are ringing, Eau Claire de la Lune. Silver jingles in the line, and it rains all the time. If it ain't raining now, must be raining soon. In her heart she's searching for the words to tell me she no longer wants me like I want her to. And I shake my head and smile, yeah, I've known that quite a while. I just thought I'd stick around till I was sure you knew I knew. But it's not the end, it's just a little darkness. A little darkness is only moonlight on the wane. If this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little gray with a little rain. Macedonia was a child, she was an orphan, talking to the sad-eyed lady in the moon. Destiny distantly shined like the Pickway silver mine, so she stuck her thumb out on the road to ruin. Sometimes it's hard to know your hearts from your diamond. Sometimes it's hard to know your heart at all. I've been dealt a losing hand, and Anna called me, so I ran straight out of the frying pan and up against the wall. But it's not the end, it's just a little darkness. A little darkness is just like waiting to be born. If this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little flash with a little storm. Macedonia, didn't know where she was going. Never seemed to care what fate would bring. She's always trying to catch a thrill, wild enough to get her killed, which felt better than not feeling anything. The papers ask me where she's gone and I don't answer. Locked up somewhere, maybe in her grave. Running guns or running games, always running all the same. And it don't matter to or from. The wild bird dreads a cage, but it's not the end. It's just a little darkness. A little darkness is just like waiting to be born. And this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little rose, yeah, a little thorn. It's not the end, it's just a little darkness. A little darkness is only moonlight on the wane. This ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little gray, a little rain. 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 It's not usually the end of that song, but improvise. Life is improvising now, isn't it? All of life is kind of improvising. I mean, I went to the store in a mask with a mustache glued to it today. If that ain't improvising, I don't know what is. But, you know, are we settling into the new normal? And is it the new normal? And what's going to be the new normal once this becomes the old normal? Uh-oh. He's coming in. Ringo, this is my camera, buddy. Hi, bud. This is my best bud, Ringo. He, my quarantine partner, and the one who has to listen to the majority of my rantings and ravings every day. Not just for 2 hours during a live stream broadcast, but pretty much every day. But, you know, I got to put up with him, too. So, for example, Ringo really gets excited about other animals. I mean, even just like seeing him on TV, he goes nuts, and he'll be curled up in my lap sleeping, and he'll see it. I'm surprised he's not reacting to the sight of himself on the screen right now, actually. He's being pretty mellow about that. So during this quarantine, Ringo and I watched Tiger King together. Man, was that a thing. That was hard on him. I mean, it was asking a lot of him to sit through all those tigers. You can probably hear him on the mic right now. He's breathing heavy into that condenser mic. So yeah, Tiger King, I don't know, Ringo found that pretty hard to take. You know, Kimberly, he actually is, in terms of that, he very much is like a cat. He's just like, I'm getting in your lap whenever I want to. He just hops right up. Hell with you if you don't like it. I let him most of the time. Delia dog is sleeping in the other room. My original good girl. 10 years young this year. Sorry, I forget if there were any more requests up there in the comments. Put them back in if you had one. If y'all, it looks like there's some new people in here, which is awesome. If y'all haven't seen me before, you can follow the Leo DiSanto Facebook page that this is coming from, and you'll hear about it when I'm going to do stuff. Because all I have to do now is let people know when I'm going to do stuff on the internet and then do stuff on the internet. So if you follow this page, you'll hear about it. you can also, I'll do this again for good measure, being an entrepreneur. I'm not an entrepreneur. I can't even say it with a straight face. There's my YouTube channel, y'all. Lots of cool videos on there. There's videos of me playing on the street all over the world. Italy, Transylvania, all over the United States. There's all different travel videos. And I'm going to be archiving this show on YouTube too. I'll send this one over as soon as it's done. So this is going to be the place to see the episodes. And eventually, maybe after the pandemic, I'm going to move the whole thing over there. So if you'd be so kind as to give me a clickety-clack on that subscribe-ity link, that'd be sweet. Thanks. I think Mom asked for letters from Centralia a ways back. I'll tell you a little story, folks. I'll tell you a little story about a ghost town. A ghost town that doesn't even have enough town left to really even be called a ghost town anymore. It's kind of the ghost of a ghost town. A place called Centralia, Pennsylvania. About 2 hours north of where I now sit in Lancaster County, up in the mountains. Centralia was a coal mining town. And somehow, nobody's quite sure how it happened, but back in 1962, some say they were burning trash in the dump, but they believe that a fire in the dump caught a vein of anthracite coal under the ground, and the fire raged out of control through the mining tunnels, the old mining tunnels down there. And they tried everything they could to put it out, but there was no luck. It just went haywire. So they tried to put it out and then just decided, forget about it, live with it. Nothing else they could do. And for a while, life went on as normal, but things started to get weird before too long. People were getting respiratory problems, which rings very scary for us in these days that we're living through. But people started getting respiratory problems around Centralia. The reason being that toxic gases from the mine fire were seeping into their basements. And the local gas station one day discovered that the gasoline underneath the station had heated up to a precarious, perilous, time bomb-ish temperature. And then the kicker, Valentine's Day, 1981. A young boy named Todd Domboski's out playing. By the way, Todd Domboski, if you ever tune into this show, give me a shout, man. It'd be cool to meet you online. This Todd Domboski, 12 or so years old, is out playing, and a giant, flaming, hellish sinkhole opens up under his feet and tries to swallow him down. There's fire and brimstone and smoke down in there, and it's 100 feet deep. And there are, we can only imagine, little devils down in there with pitchforks trying to pitchfork him in his poor 12-year-old ass up there. And he was yelling and yelling, and somebody came running, and they pulled him out of the hole, and he was able to get out without serious injury. But that was about it as far as the government of Pennsylvania was concerned, and the Commonwealth moved in, and they said, all right, folks, time to leave. Time to get out of Centralia. So they started buying up all the properties. They started knocking down all the houses, closing down all the businesses. Took away the signs saying, welcome to Centralia. Took away the zip code. So it's no longer even really a town. But there was a group of people, I think at the time it was something like 13, who adamantly refused to leave their homes. It was the only place they knew, and they figured it was theirs, and things weren't so bad, really, as all those scientists were claiming. So they went to court, and they fought to keep their homes, and the legal battle lasted years. And finally, they won. They won the right to remain in their homes. But there were a couple of asterisks on that win. One is that they were never allowed to sell. Can't sell your property. Two was that they're never allowed to bequeath their property even when they die. They can't even leave it to a child or a grandchild or a buddy or a friendly mailman or anything like that. So the town of Centralia has just been dwindling down to nothing over the years. There's a few people still there. I took a field trip with my dog Ringo, and I saw a couple of houses made it clear with signs that they were not interested in my company. So I got to thinking about that when we were making the Halloween Tapes album. I got to thinking, what would it be like to have grown up and in this town that's now vanishing around you, and be staying there, and everybody you've ever known has left, and your whole sense of place has been thrown out of whack because you're not even really a town anymore. Long story long, this is a song about that. It's called Letters from Centralia. Dear Marie, thought I'd take this chance to write you. I had some business in a town that's got a post office. There's so much I've meant to say ever since you moved away. It's been so long, you've probably have forgotten me. I never blamed you much for doing what you did. Heard the Commonwealth folks made you a nice offer. I'd have sold 'em my place too if I had brains like you. 'Cause where I am is nowhere now. Guess I'm nobody too. No train stop at Michigan Central Station. Nobody wants to swim the Salton Sea. Hey, and you can't send letters from Centralia, so I guess I won't be writing much, Marie. We were just kids back in 1962, playing Red Rover while the devil bought the place downstairs. I sure had a thing for you, I don't think you even knew. Some fires are destined to stay buried. You remember Valentine's Day 81, when that Don Bosky kid fell down the sinkhole. Brought the government around trying to erase our town, but home is home and hell with all that hell below the ground. No train stop Michigan Central Station. Nobody wants to swim the Salton Sea. Hey, and you can't send letters from Centralia, so I guess I won't be writing much, Marie. I don't believe it's half as urgent as they say it is. I cough sometimes and a cat or two gets barbecued. They tore all them houses down and the weeds grew over the ground. To walk the streets you'd never know this used to be our town. Well, Marie, thought I'd drop a line. I don't think I'll make it back to Ashland for some time. Going back from where I came, no zip code and no name. A ghost inside a ghost town, watching steam rise from the drain. No train stop Michigan Central Station. Nobody wants to swim the Salton Sea, and you can't send letters from Centralia, so I guess I won't be writing much, Marie. No, I guess I won't be writing much, Marie. Letters from Centralia, from the Halloween tapes, folks. Gonna do a couple more for you. Gravity Hill. I don't think I have, Lee. I don't think I've heard of that. What's the deal with Gravity Hill? I'd like to hear more about this. I might have been near there. I travel up through that way a lot to a gig that we used to do back when there was a such thing as gigs up in Bloomsburg. So maybe pass near. I'm intrigued, though. I'm a big enthusiast of weird places. You know, when we went to Centralia, we traveled I've got this van with a bed in the back called Towns Van Vant. I remodeled it inside for sleeping in and living in and being basically a vagabond in. And Ringo and I went to Centralia for inspiration. We made a video, by the way. If you look at Letters from Centralia on YouTube, there's a video I made called that. That's where the song comes from. And Ringo and I are walking around, and I heard all this stuff about the fumes in the basement and everything. And Ringo all of a sudden started. And I was like, "Oh man, what's going on, buddy? Is the fumes from the fire? Because the fire is burning still. I don't even know if I mentioned that part in the story. It's been burning for, 60 years, and there's no end in sight." Ringo starts, acting all funny. I thought, man, are the fumes making my dog sick? And then he proceeds to heave up a chunk of grass and vegetation that he'd been eating all day, about the size of my forearm. Just came right out of at first I thought it was a dead squirrel. I thought he swallowed like an entire squirrel or a weasel of some sort. But it ended up being this rope that knit itself together in his stomach because he's constantly eating grass and everything else. And then he was fine. I thought, oh, that explains that. Yeah, Yonder Songs. Thanks for mentioning that, Kim. Yonder Songs is a show I started making. There are 3 episodes. There's a channel on YouTube, too, called Yonder Songs. That's linked to my channel. And once travel becomes a little bit more viable, I'll definitely be making more of those. They're very time-consuming and labor-intensive to make. I think it takes me about 24 hours of work or so to make each episode. They each contain an original song about the place that they're made. It's kind of a storytelling show. Yeah, I read about that, Donna. A few people sent me the article saying that they're covering up Graffiti Highway, which I'm glad I got to see it. I mean, I've never seen so much graffiti anywhere. Every inch of the highway and guardrails were plastered with spray paint of some sort, if you can say plastered with spray paint. Kind of a mismatched verbiage there. But that said, Graffiti Highway was the least interesting part of Centralia to me, to be honest. That's what everybody was going there to see. It was kind of the tourist thing. But it was just the usual stuff, a lot of sports teams, pot leaves, and dick pics, really. There wasn't much that was profound. I mean, now it's miles of graffiti, so there's definitely some beautiful paintings there, some stuff that people really put some time and heart into. But most of it was pretty low-rent stuff. To me, the most interesting part of Centralia was just kind of walking the old neighborhoods, or what would have been the neighborhoods. The streets are all heaved up by the fire and broken and covered with weeds. The sidewalks just disappear into the weeds. The streets just go nowhere. They just lead you into the woods, into dead ends. It's just a weird place when you think about the fact that these would have once been streets lined with houses with the children playing outside and the sound of television sets wafting out the windows on the summer breeze. And it's just so strange now what it's become. But yeah, I'm proud of that video if you want to look that one up. Yonder Songs on YouTube. I'm going to flash my channel one more time. This is mostly a music video channel, and it's where all these shows are going to be archived. I'm going to send them all after they go live. They'll go here to make them easier to find by date. That way, when the big sicky sick is over and we resume with whatever our normal is going to be, and I start having guests on the show, you'll always know where to find it. Gonna do a couple of more songs. Is that right, Lee? I didn't know that the sinkhole was why they detoured the road. There are a lot of sinkholes. It started happening there on the regular. That was one of the problems, is that apparently it still happens when tourists are walking around there. A sinkhole will just open up in the ground. My understanding was that stretch of Highway 61 used to run right through the center of town, and they just detoured. It's part of their effort to get rid of the town, was just to cut out that section of the highway and reroute the highway around the town, because there's nothing there anymore. They didn't want people to go there. You helped a friend take away a blackened tree stump from there, eh? That's cool. And it's weird. It's a weird place. The trees are weird and twisted and burnt. You drive to the bottom and turn off your motor and it'll pull you back up. Really? That's hard to believe. How would that work? That sounds like hoodoo. Gravity Hill. Huh. Yeah, Candace, I guess it would act as a natural heater. Coal heater. I went in the summer, so I didn't get to see the steam coming up. But your strange feeling that you might be swallowed up by it was an accurate intuition, because the sinkholes still happen. You actually might well have been swallowed up by it. All right, guys. This has been fun as always. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. As often happens, I kind of woke up in a rough mood today. Mental states have been a pretty unpredictable landscape these days, because it's just such a weird world, and there's lots of time to think about everything, be that good or bad, and it'll be both. And I didn't sleep very well last night, and I woke up feeling in kind of a bum mood for a lot of the day, and playing for you guys definitely cheers me up, and I'm going to go into the rest of the evening and feeling like I'm in a better place, and I thank you guys for that. If you're so inclined and you're able to offer a contribution for the entertainment tonight, there's the addresses down there: Venmo, PayPal. If you're not able to, that's totally fine. Don't feel bad if you don't have money to tip me. I'm here anyway, and you're just as welcome as everyone else to watch the show. If you can, this is my full-time job now, so that's great too. Definitely appreciate it. And this last song I'm going to do for you is a train song. Train songs are one of the most broad and kind of central subgenres of American folk music. There's a million train songs: the Wreck of the Old 97, the City of New Orleans, the Wabash Cannonball. You could go on and on and on. And I've made a few contributions to the train song subgenre myself, including this one from my newest CD, the Halloween Tapes. This is called The Dizziest Train, and I'm going to play you out with this one, and thank you so much. Off the rails and over the moon, suffering slings and arrows. Hey, won't you come out tonight? We'll practice casting shadows. A game of letting me down, a game of shoot me in the dark, till the cops come around, find my body in the park. I thought I understood the part about love is all that matters. Thought I had an unshakable heart before it shook and shattered. Where you fall in love, but you never hit the ground, and you can't get up, and you can't stay down. And hey, well, isn't that the way? For every song I've sung and every wrong I've rung, I've given my heart on a platter. And I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter, been busy and dizziest train that you ever will ride, off the rails and over the moon. Come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Seven come 11. Hey, have I got enough stuff to get me into heaven? Half the time treading water, half pissing in the wind. I'm a shaking in my boots and a shiver in my skin all day. But isn't that the way? For every song I've sung and every wrong I've wrung, I give my heart on a platter, and I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter. I've been busy in this hell-bent downhill slide, dizziest train that you ever will ride, off the rails and over the moon. Come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Like maniacal kids, naked in a wildflower meadow. All that anybody ever did was practice casting shadows. Do the best you can, whatever shape you're in. Try to look surprised if you get to go around again. Go around again. For every song I've sung and every wrong I've wrung, giving my heart on a platter, and I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter. Been busy in this hell-bent downhill slide, dizziest train that you ever will ride, off the rails and over the moon. Come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Come back, gonna miss you soon. Come back, gonna miss you. Thank you so much for your company tonight, folks. I appreciate it all. And follow this page. Keep in touch on the social media. I'll be back again Friday night at 8 p.m. and then Sunday, 1 p.m., the Beatles brunch for charity. Feed some hungry people. I'll let you know what organization this week is going to benefit. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love. I'll catch you real soon, I hope.